When people talk about the greatest bodybuilder of all time, one name echoes louder than the rest: Ronnie Coleman. Not just because of the 8 Mr. Olympia titles, and not just because of the record-breaking lifts, but because of the pain he endured, the surgeries he survived, and the unbreakable spirit that still defines him today. Ronnie Dean Coleman, born on May 13, 1964, in Monroe, Louisiana, is widely regarded as the greatest bodybuilder of all time. Nicknamed the King, and famous for his catchphrases like, "Yeah, buddy," and "lightweight, baby," Coleman dominated the sport with 8 consecutive Mr. Olympia titles from 1998 to 2005. His journey from a small-town kid to a global icon is a story of relentless drive, but it is also marked by severe injuries that have left him battling chronic pain and mobility issues in his later years. At 61 in 2026, Coleman continues to inspire millions through his resilience and positive outlook. He grew up in Bastrop, Louisiana, in a modest family. His father left early, and his mother, Jessie Benton, raised him and his siblings. As a child, Ronnie was highly athletic, excelling in powerlifting and football. He suffered his first major injury at 17 during a powerlifting meet while attempting to squat 500 pounds, which caused a sharp crack in his lower back, an early sign of the physical toll his pursuits would take. He later attended Grambling State University on a football scholarship, where he played as a middle linebacker under legendary coach Eddie Robinson. Coleman graduated in 1986 with a bachelor's degree. After earning his degree in accounting, job prospects were slim, leading Ronnie Coleman to work odd jobs before eventually entering law enforcement. He once said, "I just got a burning desire to be successful in life. I've always had it. I was pretty much born with it." In 1989, Coleman joined the Arlington Police Department in Texas, where he served until 2003. His imposing physique, already honed from gym sessions, made him a standout officer. It was during this time that fellow officer Gustavo Arlada encouraged him to train at Metroflex Gym, owned by amateur bodybuilder Brian Dobson. Dobson offered Coleman a free lifetime membership if he agreed to compete, sparking his professional bodybuilding career. Coleman balanced his policing career with intense training, often working night shifts to fit in workouts. His competitive debut came in 1990 at the Mr. Texas contest, where he won first place in both the heavyweight and overall categories. He earned his IFBB Pro card in 1991 after winning the World Amateur Championships. His early professional years were challenging as he placed relatively low in his initial Mr. Olympia appearances, 15th in 1994 and 10th in 1995. However, his breakthrough came in 1995 with a victory at the Canada Pro Cup. From 1998 to 2005, Coleman reigned supreme, tying Lee Haney's record of 8 Mr. Olympia wins. At his peak, Coleman's physique was unmatched, weighing around 300 pounds in the off-season, with 24-inch arms and a 58-inch chest. Built through grueling high-intensity training, he famously squatted 800 pounds for reps and deadlifted enormous weights, solidifying his reputation as one of the strongest and most dominant bodybuilders in history. Ronnie Coleman's 26 IFBB professional wins remain a record, and his rivalries with Jay Cutler and others defined an era in bodybuilding. However, his dominance came at a cost. His extremely heavy lifting exacerbated underlying spinal issues. In 1997, while squatting 600 pounds, Coleman herniated a disc, causing excruciating pain that radiated down his legs. Doctors advised immediate surgery, but he delayed it to continue competing, relying instead on painkillers and chiropractic care. Despite the injury, he went on to win his first Mr. Olympia title that same year, solidifying his place at the top of the sport. After retiring in 2007 following a 4th-place finish at the Mr. Olympia, Coleman finally underwent spinal fusion surgery, marking the beginning of a long and difficult period in his life. Both of his hips were replaced in 2014 due to avascular necrosis caused by years of intense strain. In 2016, a 13-hour back surgery resulted in nerve damage, leading to drop foot and significant loss of leg strength. In total, Coleman has undergone more than 15 surgeries, including multiple spinal fusions, discectomies, and corrective procedures. The costs have exceeded $2 million, and some surgeries were unsuccessful, leaving him with chronic pain and requiring the use of a wheelchair or crutches for mobility. Nerve damage from complications caused severe muscle atrophy in his legs, making even basic movements a challenge. In June 2025, at the age of 61, Coleman was hospitalized with a life-threatening case of sepsis, a severe blood infection, discovered during a routine checkup. He underwent emergency surgery along with a minimally invasive heart procedure, continuing his long battle with serious health challenges. The ordeal nearly cost Ronnie Coleman his life, requiring intensive care and a 2-week hospital stay. His family kept fans updated through social media, highlighting his resilience throughout the crisis. By August 2025, Coleman was back in the gym for light training, even sharing motivational posts with his iconic phrase, "Lightweight, baby." He also launched a sepsis awareness campaign, crediting his survival to his faith and the support of his wife, Susan Williamson, along with his fans. As of early 2026, Coleman, now 61, continues light workouts at Metroflex Gym, focusing mainly on machines to avoid further strain. He uses a wheelchair for longer distances but can walk short distances with crutches. In a recent interview, he expressed his determination to walk unassisted within 18 months, once again showcasing his unbreakable spirit. Despite ongoing pain, he remains highly active on Instagram, where he has over 12 million followers, promoting his supplement line and his 2018 documentary Ronnie Coleman, The King, which is life and health struggles. Reflecting on his journey, Coleman once said, "Well, all I can say is it doesn't get any better than this. Thank each and every one of you for coming out. Thank every fan out there. Support bodybuilding and support me. I love you all. You all gave me the best life a man could ever have, and I could have never done it without you. Yeah, buddy." Even now, he admits, "I still regret not deadlifting 800 pounds for more than 2 reps. Of course, I'm still in pain and all that kind of stuff." When asked if he is in pain all the time, he replied, "Yeah, but as long as I'm doing what I love, I'm okay." Coleman's story is both awe-inspiring and cautionary, highlighting the risks of extreme bodybuilding. He has 8 children from previous relationships and now enjoys family life with Susan Williamson. With an estimated net worth of around $10 million, earned through competitions, endorsements, and business ventures, Coleman truly embodies perseverance. His influence continues to inspire athletes around the world to push their limits, but also to do so wisely. Ronnie Coleman looked like he could kill the Hulk, as Joe Rogan once said. An 8-time Mr. Olympia, in his final Olympia appearance, his 14th overall, Ronnie Coleman stood as one of the most dominant figures in bodybuilding history. Joe Rogan remarked that he always thought Ronnie looked like someone invented in a Marvel comic book specifically to defeat the Hulk. Ronnie agreed, saying that back in those days, he felt like he probably could. It was unbelievable to witness. He was freakishly huge, and it left a lasting impression on anyone who followed bodybuilding from the early days. From the era of Franco Columbu and Arnold Schwarzenegger to Ronnie's prime, the sport underwent a massive transformation. When Ronnie and his peers reached their peak, they redefined bodybuilding entirely. Everything became more extreme, more intense, and more competitive. Ronnie reflected on those times, saying the old days were tough and everything was hard. The competitors he faced were incredibly skilled, yet he managed to rise seemingly out of nowhere. Despite his success, Ronnie Coleman always maintained a level head. He considered himself equal to everyone else, even while holding the title of Mr. Olympia and excelling at what he did. His mindset remained grounded, and he emphasized that his approach was simple: always give 110% in everything he did and strive to be the very best. Ronnie Coleman said that from the moment he got into the sport, he never really changed. Even after winning all those Mr. Olympia titles and other shows, he remained the same person. He emphasized that his personality never shifted. He stayed a normal, grounded individual. As people often say, "Let's give it up for one of the greatest of all time," referring to the 8-time Mr. Olympia champion. For Ronnie Coleman, weight training became second nature. For the most part, it was simply part of who he was. Chapter 5. The Day of the Last Mr. Olympia Backstage. After last year's Olympia, Ronnie Coleman decided that it was time to reflect on his mind and how his body was feeling. He explained that although he didn't really believe he lost the show, he felt that the judges were sending him a message, that it was time to step aside and let new athletes come in. After thinking about it, he made the decision to retire. He had been competing in the Mr. Olympia since 1992, and he felt it was time to move on. He chose to do it one more time and witness history one last time backstage. He was thanked for the memories, with people acknowledging his legacy, calling him one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. At 43 years old, Ronnie Coleman was recognized as one of the winningest bodybuilders in the world. He expressed gratitude and appreciation for the moment. The announcer called the top 6 Olympia finalists back on stage. The 6th-place finisher received a $30,000 check. Melvin Anthony, known as the Marvelous One, was introduced, and the audience gave him a big round of applause for his performance. Next, the awards continued with Dennis Wolf receiving a check for $38,000. In his first Olympia appearance, Dennis Wolf, all the way from Germany, placed in the top 5 at just 28 years old, showing a promising future ahead of him. The crowd celebrated his strong debut with loud applause. For 4th place, Jennifer H. was presenting the award and announced a prize of $48,000 going to Ronnie Coleman. A legend in bodybuilding, 8-time Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman was introduced as the Big Nasty. It was noted that this was his last appearance on the Olympia stage, his 14th overall. The crowd responded with respect and admiration, recognizing his legacy. People thanked him for the memories, calling it true class and greatness. Before he left the stage for the final time, the audience wanted to hear from the 8-time Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman, as he prepared to close this historic chapter of his career. Chapter 9. Ronnie Coleman Last Speech. The announcer welcomed Ronnie Coleman on stage, calling him a legend and inviting him to come up. He was introduced as a living legend, an 8-time Mr. Olympia, and one of the most decorated bodybuilders in bodybuilding history. The fans showed their deep love and respect for him. Ronnie Coleman began his speech by first giving all glory to his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He thanked God and expressed gratitude to the fans, calling them the greatest fans in the world. He also thanked people who traveled from all over the world to attend the event. He said this was the best contest of his life, regardless of his placing, and that he felt like one of the happiest men in the world. He continued by saying that nothing could get better than this and thanked everyone for coming out and supporting bodybuilding and supporting him. He expressed that the fans made him have the best life he could ever have, and he said he could never have done it without them. The crowd responded with admiration as he ended with his famous phrase, "Yeah, buddy." He also encouraged fans to come again next year, saying that even though he would not be on stage anymore, he would still be there cheering for the athletes. He praised the competitors as some of the greatest guys in the world and said it was his honor and pleasure to be part of the sport for so many years. Ronnie Coleman reflected that he never thought he would achieve all of this and reminded everyone that God has a plan for each and every one of us. He encouraged people to keep faith and accept their calling. He ended by saying, "God bless you all." The announcer closed by honoring Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympia, one of the greatest of all time.